Hi YouTube, this is Krista, your Sunday weekly wrap-up for Trans Love Take Two. Take Two. We have been at this for a month. I am the last girl for the week, and this is our 4th week, so congratulations to all the ladies. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to us to listen to our stories and our insight or lack thereof. Pretty great. We're over 100 subscribers, which is brilliant as far as I'm concerned. And I myself have really enjoyed watching everyone's videos. What I typically do is binge watch before I do my own. Have a pretty busy life, so sitting down and watching a video every day isn't necessarily conducive to that. So I try to binge watch on Sundays before my own. So yeah, the ladies, to all of you girls that I do this with, you're fantastic. I love hearing your stories. I love listening to everybody's different perspectives on things. Some of you have made me cry. Some of you have made me laugh. So thanks. I really enjoy that. This week's topic is dysphoria. How it affects us as partners, how it affects our relationships, how it affects our dudes. This is a really tricky topic. It's a really tricky topic. There's been a lot of emotion this week, and I would be lying if I said that it wasn't an emotional-filled topic for me too. Not typically a crier, although I feel like it sometimes, especially when Elliot is going through dysphoria, but yeah, I'll try not to cry. I don't think I will. I think I can hold it together. Anyway, so dysphoria. So Elliot and I started dating just pre-transition. He was not on any form of HRT at that point. And not that I was uneducated about dysphoria and what dysphoria was and what it entailed, but in a lot of respects I was not educated enough. I volunteered in the trans community in London here for several years, so I kind of had an idea. Pardon me, I'm so thirsty and I need coffee. I knew what dysphoria was. I knew what caused dysphoria. I knew, the basic ins and outs of dysphoria. What I didn't understand at that point is how much it affected the person going through it. As a volunteer, you see people once a week or once a month or whatever it is, but you're not with them day to day. You don't see the struggle. You don't see the struggle every day. And when Elliot and I got together, that obviously changed, and I was privy to the ongoing dysphoria, the terrible dysphoria. Oh my God, I've tried so many times kind of putting myself in his shoes and trying to understand how he must feel, and I can't even begin to go where he is. Like, it just, and it's not that it doesn't make sense to me, I just, I'm comfortable with who I am, and I can't imagine not being comfortable in who you are, in your body. Like, there's obviously things, like other women have said, that I'm not thrilled about with myself, but I don't hate myself and I don't hate my body. I love my body. I love what it does for me. I love what my body symbolizes. I can't imagine being stuck in something that doesn't do that for me. So pre-transition, Elliot had horrible dysphoria. He contemplated suicide. This is what gets me. He contemplated suicide a lot. It was a really tough time for us. He would work an afternoon shift, and I didn't find this out until we had been together for a few weeks or a couple of months. But he would work an afternoon shift, so like 3 to 11. And when he would go home from work, he would have to cross train tracks. And there were many times where he would stop at those train tracks waiting for a train and waiting for the courage to step in front of it. And my God, I'm so glad that he didn't. That was at its worst. And I guess that's when I really understood, or began understanding, how serious and heartbreaking dysphoria really was. Whew, sorry, see, I didn't cry. After I found that out, I would stay up. Elliot and I are in different time zones, so I would stay up until midnight my time, and I would call him when he finished his shift at 11 his time, and I would walk home with him, and I would keep him on the phone so that I knew there was no way he was stopping at those train tracks and waiting. I did that for months. Before he started testosterone, his dysphoria would last for weeks and weeks on end. It wasn't, he was having a dysphoric day here and a dysphoric day there. It was an ongoing, thing. It was just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Okay, I got through that. So eventually, Elliot, came to Canada. He saw an endo here and was prescribed testosterone. And not that it was night and day, it didn't happen overnight, but within a couple of weeks, I'd say, probably within a couple of weeks, his dysphoria went from a 12 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. He always has underlying dysphoria every day of his life. He is dysphoric. It's a way of life. If we are going somewhere, he changes his clothes 6 times until he finds something that he's comfortable in. He, will put his binder on and his shirt on and then check to see, if it's really compressed today or if it's not. And if it's not, then, he's got to put something else on and put something else on. And for me as his partner, that's tough because I think he looks good in anything. I love him to bits. What I see as a partner isn't what he sees. He, like many of us, all of us, I'm sure, he picks out every single one of his flaws when he looks in the mirror, where when I see him, I don't see his flaws. I just see the man that I love. So I think one of the things that dysphoria has done in our relationship, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's really forced us to be honest. At first, I would look at him and I'd say, no, that sure looks fine, that looks good. He would catch himself in the mirror and he'd say, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that you could see things? Why didn't you tell me? And I didn't see it, it's just, I don't see what you see. Now, when Elliot's getting ready to go somewhere, I have a really critical eye. And I do that for him because if I don't, he's going to be really pissed with me. So I make a point of looking at everything. Turn sideways, turn this way, turn that way. Nope, you can't see your binder. Yes, you know what? Maybe put on a looser shirt. Whatever it is, it's really forced me to be critical and honest, and I hate that so much. I hate being the person to say, you know what, maybe you should change your shirt. But by the same token, I know he appreciates it. I know that's what he needs so that he's comfortable. Dysphoria is hell, when Elliot's really bad, like a lot of the girls have said, it's like walking on eggshells. You can't say anything right. you can't do anything right. I can't hug him. I can't touch him. I can't be with him. When his dysphoria is not super bad, then, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Our sex life has changed in the beginning, pre-testosterone, pre-anything. I had the no-no zones, which means you don't touch, and that was fine. You know, we talked a lot about it, and I understood what that meant for him and for us and the feelings that it caused for him. So I respect that. Since starting testosterone, things have gotten immensely better. Immensely, immensely, immensely better. I don't have no-no zones. We do have days where he is not feeling confident and doesn't want to have sex, which is fine. Totally fine. Sometimes that means we're cuddling. Sometimes that means I'm giving him a kiss on the head and rolling over because he just doesn't want to be touched, and I'm okay with that. He's really good at communicating with me now about how he's feeling, why he's feeling it, which is fantastic because, you know, before, I think Christina said, you know, she took it as her fault that, you know, she wasn't attractive enough, she wasn't thin enough, whatever the case is, you know, it's ridiculous. And Elliot pointed it out, you know, it's not you, it's me. And it took me a while as well to kind of understand that it's not me, it's him. But it took a lot of communication, and some days it's still a battle. Some days he is having a really tough day, and it's really tough to be his partner and sit back and watch and make sure, you know, that he's really doing okay. Being long distance, I think it makes it twice as hard, especially given the past when, you know, we were dealing with train tracks and stuff like that, and now that we're not together in the same country again, you know, he doesn't have that one-on-one support, and I worry. I'm not gonna lie, I worry. He doesn't get misgendered often, but every once in a while he does, and then, you know, the dysphoria starts twice as bad as it was. You know, he could walk into the house and be feeling great, and then someone just has to say one thing, and he's in the toilet. So, not having, or me not being there, or him not being here, whatever the case is, makes it really tough to support him through that kind of thing. So, yeah. I think that's about it. Yeah, dysphoria, just, it's the worst out of anything, out of this whole process, from the start to the finished, to the finished, to the finish. I think dysphoria will be the one thing that I hate the most. Absolutely. I could deal with the mood swings from testosterone at the beginning. I could deal with a lot of stuff. The dysphoria is really hard. Super hard. So, but we're getting through it with a ton of communication and a ton of I love yous, and yeah, that's about it. So, next week is week 5. We are talking, sorry, that was 5, not 4. We are talking next week about celebrating every chin hair, every octave our partner's voices go down, but what about us? And often partners get kind of left on the sidelines with transition. So tune in next week for everyone's perspective on all of that. I hope everyone has a fantastic week. I will see you. Oh, wait, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And like us on Facebook, Translove Take 2, I think. We have a Facebook page. You can find us. And have a great week. Subscribe, like, questions, comments, queries down below. Ciao. Ciao. Sayonara. Welcome to spring. Bye.